It is the first day, the first Monday of the month of August 2022. Only 7 days remaining to the general election. This is Kirk. In the morning, my name is Aida Munzati. We'll be discussing different matters on this show, from the newspaper review, the traffic updates, and what exactly you should be expecting during this week, as well as what happened during the weekend. We'll also be having a discussion on matters health as far as HIV or the HIV new infections is concerned, according to the Ministry of Health, as well as the National Council for AIDS in Kenya. Welcome. Kirk in the morning starts now. Well, welcome. Remember, we are also coming to you live on all our social media pages at Kirk TV Kenya on Twitter, kirktv.kenya on Instagram, and Kirk TV Kenya on Facebook and YouTube. So we start with the newspaper review. Let's start with the Daily Nation. The shape of Mount Kenya, that is what the top page of the Daily Nation is all about. Just looking at how Ruto ranged the mountain away from an unsuspecting Uhuru and why Raila presents an ever-present danger. You'll find that story on page 2, 3, 4, 5 and page 6 of the Daily Nation. The Daily Nation also has a story on how Uhuru launched the Nairobi Expressway. You'll find that on page 8. So looking at page 18 of the Daily Nation, they're talking about the cost of living, and the story is how city residents will be paying more for water in new raft of proposal. This is a story that you can find on page 8 of the Daily Nation. On page 22 of the Daily Nation, is all about food security. The Treasury extends duty-free import of maize by 2 months. That's a story that you can find on page 22 of the Daily Nation. So let's switch gears to the Standard newspaper. They are talking of numbers that show the huge task for IEBC. This is something that I will definitely be discussing on Kirk in the morning, and the numbers include the polling stations, registered voters, candidates, number of ballot papers, as well as diaspora voting, where the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, that is IEBC, is expected to take 12 ballot papers or ballot papers to 12 foreign countries, as well as 700, which is the maximum voters per polling station. Remember, we only have 7 days to the general election. That is, the elections will be happening on 9th of August. That is on Tuesday next week. The Daily or the Standard newspaper also has the story on Expressway, where President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday launched the Nairobi Expressway and the Eastern Bypass, where he told of his deputy over claims that he would harm him. That you'll find that story on page 6 and 7 of the Standard newspaper. We also look at the story on Azimio la Umoja as well as Kenya Kwanza, where according to the Standard newspaper, Azimio dangles agriculture reforms in the Rift Valley tour. Remember, the Azimio la Umoja candidate Raila Odinga, as well as his running mate Martha Karua, were in the Rift Valley this weekend, where they continued to just tell the residents of those, or the Rift Valley resident, how they will revive agriculture if elected to be president and definitely the deputy president. On the same page of the Standard, you'll find a story on Ruto sells 30% share to Western. According to William Ruto, with 95% of the votes, we shall send Raila to Bondo early. So you can grab a copy of the Standard newspaper as well as the Daily Nation just to read more on the stories that I have mentioned. Well, you can follow us on all our social media pages. Remember, we are using the hashtag Kirk in the morning on Twitter. That is Kirk TV_Kenya, as well as on Instagram is KirkTV.Kenya. Remember, the hashtag is Kirk TV in the morning. We're also coming to you live on all our social media pages. Remember, we are live on Facebook and YouTube at Kirk TV Kenya. So Kirk in the morning takes a very short break. We'll be right back. Without health, life is not life. As human beings, we need complete mental, physical, and social well-being, not just the absence of disease. Regardless of what disease, condition, health system status, or information gap, we are here not just to convey or state, but to explain and break it down in the most basic way, for your health is key and it matters. Every Monday from 7:30 p.m., I will help you find out how to look after your health, live healthier for longer, and be in total control of your health.
Good journalism is bold, in-depth, unique, captivates, reflects, and impacts. To quench your thirst for exceptional stories that are about you, from you, and for you, Kirk TV presents itself as the hub of feature stories. Ranging from health and environment,
either there is extreme drought or extreme floods, and these will affect people.
Religion and politics.
And the man looked at the boy, looked at the mother, and told the boy, going forward, don't wet the bed again.
There come a time when the nation is more important than an individual.
Education and socio-economic issues.
Nasaidika kwa sababu nikishona moja mbili nauza, napata kitu ya kulisha watoto.
I have met with other types which I have never met before.
To other stories that touch on your day-to-day life.
Ndio iko mingi zaidi. Tafadhali mnasaidia maji ya nyazi.
Tinga amekanyanga kila kitu.
Hatujawahi kuona mabadiliko yote kuhusiana na serikali ya kujengea sisi.
Kwanza kitu naweza omba tu nishikiliwe tu pande ya masomo tu ya watoto.
Kirk TV, the hub of feature stories.
Welcome back. This is Kirk in the morning. Remember, we are coming to you live as well on all our social media pages, Kirk TV Kenya on Facebook and YouTube. The hashtag to use is Kirk in the morning. Let us make it interactive, as well as on our SMS or WhatsApp number that is 0111220044. So we've just had the newspaper review, and our reporter Dennis Monene is on standby on Langata Road. He'll just be updating us on what exactly is happening outside there as far as the traffic is concerned. But first, let us look at what exactly will be happening or is happening this week and what exactly happened during the weekend. So President Uhuru Kenyatta officially launched Kenya's iconic Nairobi Expressway after months of successful public trial. The president also commissioned the revamped Nairobi Express bypass, which includes 5 new major vehicular crossings and 6-lane dual carriage at the busy section of the road. Now, speaking during the commissioning of the expressway, the president mentioned how the expressway is a great achievement that will help reduce traffic congestion.
With the addition of this iconic motorway to the landscape of our capital city, Nairobi, our city of Nairobi now acquires not just a new suspended highway, but one whose design is bold and distinctive, inking a new chapter in our infrastructural development as a country. So, fellow Kenyans, our founding fathers not only bequeathed us independence, but they also bequeathed us with dreams for a better and more prosperous tomorrow. And they dared us to build a future that Kenya deserves by doing great and sometimes seemingly impossible things. Since we opened the roads for public trials in April, it now takes between 15 to 24 minutes to drive all the way from Mlolongo in Machakos County to Rironi in Kiambu County. Before the expressway, that would have been a journey that would take at least 3 hours, which, if you calculate, is the equivalent of flying from Nairobi to Addis Ababa and back again. In short, the Nairobi Expressway has been open for trials, and it has already proved its worth. It has ushered in an era of reduced travel time, an increased mobility, and an era of reduced congestion and enhanced productivity.
Well, that is President Uhuru Kenyatta when he was launching during yesterday's event where he launched Kenya's iconic Nairobi Expressway. Well, it is during this event where the president responded to his deputy William Ruto, who during one of his campaigns asked President Uhuru Kenyatta not to harm his children, laying in public once more the tainted relationship between the two. Let's first listen in to Ruto's speech just to have a background and look back at what he said during his campaign.
Tunaelewana? Mtuambie wewe rais, tuambie huyu mtu wa kitendawili atawacha kung'oa reli lini? Atawacha kujiapisha lini? Atawacha kuvuruga Kenya lini? Atawacha mambo ya violence lini? Na utuambie agenda ya huyo jamaa. Wachana na William Ruto. I supported you when you needed a man to support you. If you do not want to support me, leave me alone. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Yes. Yeah. And please, tuko pamoja bwana? Tunaelewana? Yes. With a lot of respect. Sijui kama tunaelewana. With a lot of respect, my friend, Mr. President, please be a decent human being. Kuwa mungwana, kuwa na shukurani. Sisi ndio tulikusaidia. Waja kujifanya saizi eti sijui unajifanya nini. Please, ama ni aje, my friend. Sasa eti wewe sasa unaanza kunithreaten mimi. Ati utanifanya nini? Bora usiue watoto wangu, lakini mimi na wewe tafadhali tuheshimiane.
Well, those are sentiments from the Deputy President or Kenya Kwanza's presidential candidate William Samoei Ruto, just indicating or telling the president not to harm him. So what many people are asking is what exactly happened to the president and his deputies' relationship? What exactly happened to the red ties? What happened to the white shirts that they were wearing? So let's just listen into what exactly President Uhuru Kenyatta said yesterday while he was launching the Nairobi Expressway.
Kuna haja ya matusi jameni. Kila mtu, including myself, ako na uhuru wa kupigia debe yoyote ambaye anataka. Kwa hivyo, unapigia huyu, mwingine anampigia huyu, mwingine anapigia huyu. Uamuzi utakuwa wa wananchi. Kuna haja ya matusi. Kuna haja ya kuingilia watu. Nikikujibu kwa sababu umesema mambo ya uongo, kuna haja ya kuambia watu nataka kuua. Si mumenitusi karibu miaka 3. Kuna mtu amewaguza. Hiyo miaka 3 nimekuwa kwa kiti. Si nilikuwa na uwezo. Sasa wakati naenda kupatiana serikali na sina uwezo, ndio niko na time ya kukutafuta. Piga story yako, uza sera zako, wachana na mimi. Mimi nafanya kazi yangu, nimalize. Nyinyi muende muombe kura. Wananchi wakiwapatia sawa, wakiwanyima, twende nyumbani pamoja.
Well, that is President Uhuru Kenyatta responding to sentiments that we played earlier on the Deputy President William Ruto. What exactly do you think about the two heads of state, that is President Uhuru Kenyatta and his Deputy William Ruto? What do you think, or what exactly can you share about this? Please send in your comments or even questions on our SMS number, that is 0111 220044. Use the hashtag Kirk in the morning on Twitter. Remember, we are also coming to you live on social media, that is Kirk TV Kenya on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Remember, it's only 7 days to elections, so let us maintain peace and unity. So just moving on to matters elections as well, responding to several concerns raised on elections safety, Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i has reiterated that security will be beefed up during the elections and that internet will be safeguarded and not shut down. Let's listen in to Dr. Fred Matiang'i on the same.
We work in a democratic setup. We will not interfere with social media. We are not going to interfere with the internet just because of elections. My colleague, the Minister of ICT, and I have expressed ourselves several times before. That is not anywhere on our cards. It has not been discussed anywhere in government. Some commissioner at the NCIC expressed an opinion. And that is an opinion which actually I can confirm here that we are not even going to take, or an opinion that we are not going to listen to. It doesn't matter. I mean, with democracy we have had, in the freedoms we have enjoyed. Sasa tuamuke asubuhi tuanze kufanya mambo ambayo Wakenya hawazoei. Kenyans are used to freedom. Sisi tutakaa kwa amani na tutahakikisha kama serikali kwamba tumewapea Wakenya wetu amani ya kutosha na kuhakikisha kwamba wale ambao watakuwa kwa uchaguzi wanapiga kura kwa amani, na sisi tunafuata vile tutaelekezwa na IEBC. Hatutaingilia mambo ya social media, mambo ya internet, eti kusema huyu asiongee kwa Facebook. Hatutafanya mambo kama hayo. It will not happen in our country. And as I said before, we've come a long way. We are not intimidated by criticism or disagreement or insults or something like that. I've said several times before that no amount of criticism, no amount of insults by those who do not agree with us, because they are fellow citizens anyway, will tempt us enough to claw back on the freedoms that we were guaranteed by our constitution. We will not. The government is very clear on this. This is a democratic process, and God has been gracious and kind to us. We've had a fantastic electioneering period. Hatujakuwa na shida. Sasa tuko katika wiki ya mwisho. We are not going to interfere. And all of you, my brothers and sisters who are seeking office, campaign peacefully. You have freedom. This is your country. The government will respect the constitution. We will not interfere with anybody because we don't have an opinion as government on anybody. I can't come here and tell you this is our opinion on this or our opinion on that. We have to let you as wananchi move wenyewe. Ndio mtaamua mnataka kwani namna hii na mnaenda.
Well, that is Dr. Fred Matiang'i just assuring Kenyans that the internet will not be shut down during the elections. So just sticking to matters elections, let us look at these critical numbers. Now, with only 7 days left to the general election, the Independent and Boundaries Commission, that is IEBC, has a very critical role to ensure that they deliver a credible general election. So let's just look at the numbers in terms of the general elections. We have 46,232 polling stations. So that is 46,233 polling stations, while the registered voters, that is 22,120,452 registered voters. That is 46,233 polling stations, while 22,120,458 registered voters. So in terms of the candidates, we have 16,100 candidates, as well as a maximum of 700 voters per polling station. That is 16,100 candidates and a maximum of 700 voters per polling station. So looking at the number of ballot papers, that is 65.2 million. Number of ballot papers is 65.2 million. Now the diaspora voting IEBC is set to take ballot papers to 12 foreign countries. Remember, we only have 7 days to the general election. The number of ballot papers expected is 65.2 million, 700 maximum voters per polling station, 46,233 polling stations, while the registered voters are 22,120,458, while the IEBC is expected to take ballot papers to 12 foreign countries. Well, those are the huge numbers that indicate the critical role that IEBC has to ensure that we have a credible election. Remember, it's only 7 days to the general election. Just sticking to matters election, we look at how prepared is the IEBC for August 9th general election. Our reporter Faith Kaulu had a chat with Commissioner Francis Wanderi. Here is what he had to say.
Question. My name is Commissioner Francis Wanderi, and we are 100% prepared for the elections. The only issue that we are doing now is distribution of election materials. All the non-strategic election materials have already been distributed to the constituencies using our contracted Postal Corporation of Kenya. we are now starting to distribute the ballot papers. And the reason why we have not done that is because they are very strategic. They must be escorted by the police up to the constituency, and that will start this week. And we hope 2 days to the election, all the materials will be in the place. We started training of election officials 2 weeks ago, and this training is cascaded from national level all the way down to the polling station. All the election officials at the polling station have been hired, and we are talking about the presiding officer, the deputy, plus 6 clerks. Those ones have been hired by the constituency election officials who will be in charge of the constituency, and those are called the returning officers at the constituency. Those ones that have been hired, their training is starting also this week all over the country, and they have been trained on how to use the Kim's kit. So that is going to be done this week, so that 2 days to the election, everybody in the country, every official will be trained, including the police who are working with us. The training of the police who are going to be working during the election period has been done. I think that has already been concluded, and we are working with the Kenya National Police Service all over the country. So that training is done.
Their confidence in the commission to deliver a fair election.
I want to tell everybody, every Kenyan, wherever you are, the systems are all working. Our people are trained. Go and vote for your choice of candidate. And after you vote, maintain peace. We shall only count the votes cast. IBC is ready. We have nothing, you have nothing to worry about, and you should have faith in our system, and we have involved political parties in all the processes. There could be some detractors who may be developing some messages that are negative, but I can tell you from where I sit, IBC is 100% leading, and we are set for the elections.
Well, that was a one-on-one interview with Faith Kaulu and one of the commissioners, Francis Wanderi. Faith Kaulu just informs me that the full interview will be coming to you in the evening at exactly 7 p.m. for you just to see of how prepared the Independent and Boundaries Commission is. So we are streaming live on all our social media pages, Kirk TV Kenya on Facebook and YouTube. The hashtag to use is Kirk in the morning. On Twitter, we are Kirk TV_Kenya, and on Instagram is Kirk.Kenya. So Kirk in the morning takes a very short break. We'll be right back.
My name is Moaz Jamal. I'm the Managing Director of Associated Motors Limited. Associated Motors introduced the Isuzu brand of commercial vehicles into Kenya a little over 55 years ago. We've been with Family Bank a little over a year now. We've had a very good experience. There's always interaction between ourselves and the team at Family Bank. They've worked with us very much as part of the AM family. As a partner, they've always wanted to understand our business. In many ways, the name of the bank reflects what they do.
Our customers are family, and we want you to know that you can always bank on family.
Are you ready for Israel? PCEA head office is pleased to inform all presbyteries, parishes, churches, congregations and friends of our PCEA annual trip to Israel. The 10-day trip to the Holy Land will happen this September from the 18th to 27th, 2022. The trip to Israel through Egypt will include visit sites like the pyramids, Mara, the Hanging Church, the Burning Bush, Mount Sinai, and then to Israel through the Suez Canal. That will include visits to the Dead Sea, Kibbutz, the Menja, the Temptation Mount, Gethsemane, Old Jerusalem, Caesarea Park, St. Peter's in Galligantu, Emmaus, Capernaum, Jordan River, Galilee, among others. We would love to have you join us on this annual trip to Israel. For bookings, contact Rose on 0721 511 524 or 0721 511 524.
So welcome back. This is Kirk in the morning. The hashtag to use is Kirk in the morning on Twitter. We are also coming to you live on Facebook as well as YouTube at Kirk TV Kenya. Now let us just look at the traffic updates. So we'll start with Lang'ata Road. In most of the Nairobi roads, the traffic is slow but moving. Lang'ata Road is slow but moving. But on Lusaka Road, there's a little bit of traffic there. Just looking at Haile Selassie, it's also slow but moving. Kenyatta Avenue, there's quite some traffic on Kenyatta Avenue. So on Ngong Road, it's also slow but moving, as well as Valley Road. In the Central Business District, that is CBD, most of the roads there are slow but moving. So on Moi Avenue, it's also slow but moving. Remember, it's 8 a.m., so there's not much traffic. So as I mentioned earlier, our reporter Dennis Monene was at the Nyayo Stadium roundabout or on Lang'ata Road. Let us just listen in from him on what exactly was as far as our traffic is concerned.
All right, a very good morning, Ida. We are just coming live to you from Mombasa Road right here. We are actually at Nyayo roundabout, whereby we're just about to give you the traffic updates of what is happening in our roads today. Actually, today the roads seem a bit clearer than yesterday, but it's just because yesterday Uhuru Kenyatta, the President of the Republic of Kenya, commissioned the expressway, the 27-kilometer highway, or rather the rail that runs all the way from Westlands all the way to Mombasa Road. Now, actually, yesterday the President, once he commissioned the road that was on a trial period since May, we expected that our roads today will be will have a bit of a snarl. But as you can see, what is happening right now just behind me is that all the way from Embakasi right to the entrance of CBD, we are actually having a snarl up, which actually that one means that if you're driving in these roads, you should at least keep an eye on that. Again, if you check on the other side of Lusaka Road, it's a bit clear. That's joining Jogoo Road. all the way from here now roundabout to Langata and Rongai, the road seems a bit clear. Well, the other part that we are having a bit of a snarl up is is if you are coming from Westlands to the entrance of CBD. You're actually supposed to keep an eye on that because the roads have a bit we have a bit of a snarl up. The other traffic is being experienced from Thika Road to entrance of CBD entrance. We have a snarl up at around Ngara area, all the way from Juja Road all the way from CBD towards the Mathare area. I'm being informed that in the Mathare around Mlango Kubwa roundabout there is a snarl up actually. So if you're driving on that lane, you should at least keep an eye, and if at all you need to you have to use that road rather, you should keep an eye on that. Then the other snarl up I'm being told is that from is at the entrance of Expressway at around Wayaki Way. In Wayaki Way, that is in Westlands, we are experiencing some sort of a snarl up. Well, just to read to you what the president said yesterday about the expressway is that this project began in October 2019, and I did direct that accelerated construction program be implemented within a target completion of June 2022. I'm pleased to note that the major construction works that were originally envisioned to take 36 months were completed within a period of 18 months, said the president. Well, yesterday as the president was also commissioning the expressway, he also commissioned the Eastern Bypass, the 27.8 kilometer road, which costed, it's a two-lane road and actually costed the country a tune of about 12.5 billion Kenya shillings actually. From Ruiru to the entrance of CBD, there's a bit of a snarl, but it's not that heavy. Then from if you're going to use Ruiru towards the Eastern Bypass towards Embakasi East, there's a bit of a snarl up. Well, from Mavoko all the way from Lolongo to Embakasi to entrance of Nairobi, actually where we're standing right now, we're having a light traffic. And all the way from Nairobi to Kikuyu, we are having a heavy traffic. So rather, if you're going to use those roads, you better keep an eye on that. Well, from Nairobi, St. John's Ambulance, from Wilson Airport all the way to Langata to Kikuyu, Dagoretti, we are having a heavy traffic. There is a heavy snarl up. So actually, if you have to use that road, then kindly I urge you to choose an alternative road, or rather keep an eye. From Limuru to Kimende, I'm informed that we are having a bit of a snarl up, and of course I'm also being informed that there is a car that a Toyota Noah has really caused some accident at around has caused an accident that has rammed over a car which was actually on Langata Road, that is registration number KBJ 211Z. Well, just read some of the comments about our roads. Is that along Langata Road there is that roundabout along the military place. Well, people say that U-turn should not be there. Well, we also have today, Thika Road traffic has started from Utali Hotel all the way towards the CBD. You're just up to date with the traffic updates. I'm Dennis Munene. Back to you, Ida, in studio.
Well, thank you so much, Dennis, for that. He was at the Nyayo roundabout, just sharing or updating us on what exactly is happening on the roads. And definitely the Nairobi Expressway, which was launched yesterday by President Uhuru Kenyatta, has played quite a huge role in easing the traffic at that particular area. So in a few, after the short break that we are about to take now, we'll be discussing on matters HIV and teenage pregnancy. Remember, there was an alarming number from the Ministry of Health that is 98 teens are being infected by HIV every week. That is a conversation that we'll be having in a few, so feel free to share in your questions and comments on our SMS number, that is 0111 220044. We're also coming to you live on Facebook as well as YouTube, Kirk TV Kenya. The hashtag to use is Kirk in the morning. morning. So we take a very short break. We'll be right back in a few.
Choose life, that you may love the Lord your God.
If you delight yourself in the Lord, He will make you fruitful in whatever season you are in.
Listen to His voice and hold fast to Him.
That as disciples ourselves, we're being invited to be transformed more fully every single day.
In our walk with God, let us know that we are assured victory in every battle.
For the Lord is your life.
Live a pure life. Are you living a righteous life before the Lord? It is possible. People are wondering, can you do without corruption? Yes, I can stand and say it is possible to do without corruption.
Don't miss season 2 of the evening epilogue every day at 9:30 p.m. only on Kirk TV.
I'm Rhoda Wangeshi from Kitui. Yes.
So now we are heading to general elections.
Yes.
Now when I look at you, youth. Yeah, so what would be your message towards the youth maybe who are being used to cause violence in political campaigns, or even during or after general election, that is after August 9? What would be your message?
Okay, I'm urging all the youth to remain peaceful. It should not be used as a piece or as an instrument of violence to this election, because there is life after elections. We still need peace. We still need our economy to rise. So stay peaceful and be safe. Thank you.
All right.
I'm Celestine Kemunto. I'm taking a bachelor's in business information technology. I chose ZTech because, first of all, ZTech has been ranked among the best in ICT, and I thought it will be best. It will be best for my course. First of all, there are so many ICT labs in ZTech University, which enables students, mostly those who are pursuing IT courses, to get to know more about their courses, of which the labs have so many computers which have Ethernet, which is easier for them to browse. If I were given a chance to choose another university, I'll definitely choose ZTech University.
Apply today. ZTech University. Invent your future.
We welcome your feedback on our programming. For questions or comments, kindly get in touch with us via email info@kirktv.org, SMS 0111 220044, or call us on 0794 588 054.
Asante, mimi naitwa Paul Mogoro kutoka upande wa Eldoret. Nashukuru Mwenyezi Mungu ni kwa sababu ya kuniwezesha nikaweza kufika upande huu wa Kitui kwa sababu ya injili na kueneza injili takatifu ya Bwana kwa muda ambao Bwana amenipea. Ningetaka kusema ya kwamba katika hali ambayo nimeona upande huu nimefurahia. Jambo la kwanza, nimekuta watu ambao wako na amani, watu ambao wako na umoja licha ya maisha jinsi ambavyo yako, na ni ombi langu kama watumishi wa Mungu tuweze na hata katika hali ya kueneza amani katika nchi yetu, hasa wakati kama huu ambao ni wa uchaguzi. Na zaidi ya yote katika hali ya wale wote ambao wanaamini Mungu, tuweze kuombea nchi yetu. Hilo ndilo jambo kuu la kuombea nchi yetu na kuombea kiongozi ambaye kwa uhakika yeye mwenyewe ni mcha Mungu, na kiongozi ambaye atakayeongoza nchi yetu na amani, na zaidi ya yote kufikiria hata mwananchi ambaye ako chini katika hali ya kimaisha. Kwa hivyo leo ombi letu kama kanisa ni kuombea pia amani kwa njia kubwa sana, hasa wakati huu ambao tuna uenenda wa msimu wa uchaguzi.
Good journalism is bold, in-depth, unique, captivates, reflects, and impacts. To quench your thirst for exceptional stories that are about you, from you, and for you, Kirk TV presents itself as the hub of feature stories. Ranging from health and environment,
either there is extreme drought or extreme floods, and these will affect people.
Religion and politics.
And the man looked at the boy, looked at the mother, and told the boy, going forward, don't wet the bed again.
There come a time when the nation is more important than an individual.
Education and socio-economic issues.
Nasaidika kwa sababu nikishona moja mbili nauza, napata kitu ya kulisha watoto.
I have met with other tribes which I have never met before.
To other stories that touch on your day-to-day life.
Ndio iko mingi zaidi. Tafadhali mnisaidia maji ya nyazi.
Tingatinga amekanyanga kila kitu. Hatujawahi kuona mabadiliko yote kuhusiana na serikali ya kujengea sisi. Kwanza kitu naweza omba tu nishikiliwe tu pande ya masomo tu ya watoto.
Kirk TV, the hub of feature stories.
Well, hello and welcome back to Kirk in the morning. Just to let you know that we are also streaming live on Facebook as well as YouTube, Kirk TV Kenya. The hashtag to use is Kirk TV Kenya. That is on Twitter, where we are as Kirk TV_Kenya. So as mentioned earlier, we will be looking at the new HIV infections as indicated by the Ministry of Health, as well as the National Council or the National Control Council for HIV and AIDS. So in studio, I'm being joined by two guests. That is John Karaoke, who is a counseling psychologist, as well as Pauline Juma, the founder or the CEO of Rebirth of a Queen, where she works with a teenage mother. So, ladies and gentlemen, karibuni sana to Kirk in the morning.
Asante.
Tuko salama?
Yes.
All right, so just looking at the topic, or let me just say the triple threat as the Ministry of Health terms it, that is GBV, new HIV and AIDS infection, as well as a teenage pregnancy. Starting with you, John, what exactly is your view on the triple threats?
Yeah, it is surely a threat.
Mm-hmm.
That needs to be taken very seriously, because as we know, as per now,
mm-hmm.
there is no cure for HIV, but you find that many people believe that HIV has a cure. They confuse the ARVs with the treatment. You know, ARVs are just there to manage the disease.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no cure.
Mm-hmm.
more so among the teenagers, you'll hear them saying that they would better get HIV and not pregnancy. And I remember my biology teacher telling us that pregnancy is not a disease. So
you'd rather get it rather than HIV?
For me, I would rather get any other disease, but not HIV. For as long as it has no cure. So, and again, when a teenager gets pregnant, she increases chances of getting GBV. So something needs to be done.
True.
In terms of education on human reproductive health. And then people need to go back to their traditions and culture, where children were not supposed to get children, because especially from a psychological perspective, anybody who is below 24 years for a man and below 25 years for a 24 years for a lady and 25 years for a gentleman is actually not mature, because the brain has not completed the process of maturing. So ideally it is not proper for anybody below 20 years to get a kid.
All right. So Pauline, your views on the same?
My views are gender-based violence, teenage pregnancies and HIV. They are the real pandemic, especially in our countries, and I will speak for the vulnerable communities in Kenya, because all these correlate. A girl or a child who has gone through gender-based violence definitely finds themselves in teenage pregnancies and exposed to HIV, to HIV infection, and all this. Sometimes I think of the long term of how this affects us and even affects the economy of our country, and it's just way beyond being someone who is raising teenagers who are mothers. Sometimes it's scary. Sometimes I don't focus on the statistics, and I focus on what I handle, and I imagine now the statistics, and I imagine now this little that I handle, and it's too much trauma. What about now the numbers that are being shown? So I feel like those three are the real pandemic in this country. Yeah.
Now, talking of the three being a pandemic in the country, let us just try and link the three to the COVID-19 pandemic. Will you say the numbers increased because of the COVID-19 pandemic as well?
Sometimes I want to say yes, but I feel like the COVID-19 pandemic just exposed the reality.
What was there?
It just exposed, it just brought into light the reality of what has been happening. It's been there. I feel like the numbers have been there, but again, the COVID-19, because a lot of children were out of school for the longest time, and also a lot of parents, especially in the vulnerable areas, lost their jobs, and teenage pregnancy, GBV, and HIV infection in the vulnerable community is interconnected with poverty. I'll just give an example of a girl who maybe they're home, they don't have food, maybe I won't link it to sanitary towel, let me link it with food, or maybe they lacked support from home, that is even emotional support, and they go and find someone, and it's so unfortunate that we are not a society that takes care of one another, because sometimes I can't really explain why a girl would come to me, ask for food, and I offer food in exchange of intercourse, and knowing this is a child. So I really connect teenage pregnancies with poverty, and when I speak about poverty, it's not only the physical poverty, but even the emotional poverty. A lot of children in the vulnerable communities are not told they are loved at home. So when this first boy or man meets them on the way and tells them I love them, they'll tend to believe them more than their society. Yeah.
All right, now just talking of the society, John, where have we failed as the society? Where have we failed as parents as well?
Okay, the biggest good role models. Okay, then again, there's a lot of casual sex. Okay, sex is not handled or taken with the seriousness it deserves.
Sure.
I happen to be working in rehabilitation centers, and you find that majority of the clients we get there are from single parent families, and you find that when a teenager gets pregnant, chances of that teenager being a single parent are very high. Because at teenage, this boy or girl is not ready for marriage. They get what kwa lugha ya mtaa tunaweza ita bed accident. Yani they were just having sex, and not even necessarily on bed, on the bed, and there you are.
It happened.
A girl conceives. So role modeling, taking sex casually, is the problem. Yes.
And Pauline, do you feel like, or do you think it's time parents or the society, or let me say we adults, start introducing, let me say, things like condom to teenagers, because it is happening? These are things that they are participating in. Do you think it is time parents start introducing this conversation to their children?
Yes, I feel it's time. Because as much as we want to hide it, the generation of our teenagers know everything. They are full of knowledge. They are exposed to knowledge. We just need to teach them how to use that knowledge. They have the ideas of everything. You know, sometimes I sit around with teenagers and, just sitting around and listening to them, and they know things that I don't know. They research things that I don't even think of going there. So I think it's a high time we just have these authentic conversations with teenagers. Let's not hide anything from them, because at the end of the day, it's not that they don't know. We have exposed our children from the age of 5, 4 to phones. They are on TikTok, they are on social media. So what are we trying to hide from them? Yeah, they know. Even in the most remote areas, children or teenagers know what they want to know.
Okay, John, your sentiments on the same?
Now, that's a very hot topic. I think we need to handle the issue of contraceptives with great care, because they are being abused, especially by the teenagers. Remember, this is a very vulnerable time, because this boy or girl is confused. He's not sure whether he is an adult or a child. One minute he is a kid, the other minute is an adult. And then their bodies are still maturing. Like now I notice with great concern that over the weekends and Monday morning, there is a lot of P2 being sold in chemists, sometimes without prescription. And you know, technically, P2 is an abortion drug, and it is not supposed to be taken 2 tablets in 1 year, more than 2 tablets in 1 year. So you are supposed to take one in January, then the other one in June. Okay? But now they are being taken every weekend. So we are just bringing up abortionists, which abortion to me is a crime because life starts at conception. Then these P2s are being abused. I'm an addictions counselor. So I know it's not only the bangi and alcohol and the cocaine that are being abused. Yeah? P2 is being abused by women, more so teenagers. Then mothers assume that this girl, this boy is still a baby. So they delay or they will ignore to be the first teachers about sexuality to these young boys and girls. So they assume they are either ignorant or they assume that the teacher will do it. Then the teacher says the mother, the father will do it, but actually
no one does it.
It is the mother or the father who is supposed to be the first teacher to these kids. So now these children get lost between the teacher and the parents. And now you see the social media Pauline is referring to is not the best teacher. The best teacher is a mature mother who was ready for pregnancy, who is ready to be a mother, a man who is ready to be a father, and mature, so that we bring up well-adjusted children. So actually, we are losing our future. We have lost like 3 generations to addictions. Yeah, and so many girls have already become barren because of abusing P2. So the issue of, and then again, when we come to condoms, they are not 100% effective. And then I also realize many men, even mature men, and especially the boys, don't know the proper use of condoms. Okay, you find others putting on 2, which is wrong. Then others say huwezi kula switi kwa karatasi, anadanganya ameweka condom alafu vinya anatoboa. So we end up doing a lot of nothing. Actually, it's very, very dangerous. So they are not supposed to put on these condoms to make the girl happy or feel safe. It's for protection. And there are no 2 ways about it. So the issue of contraceptives is very controversial. And for me, I think they should not be given to teenagers.
Okay.
Let the children be educated about reproductive health and healthy sexuality. Yeah.
All right. So just talking of children, and John, you brought in both the girl and the boy. So Pauline, do you think as a society we've neglected the boy child? Personally, I think we have neglected the boy child because we are talking to this girl, we are advising this girl, and it's this same girl that will go to this boy that wasn't advised, and at the end of it we start talking of our teenage pregnancy. So do you think we've neglected the boy child, and what exactly can the society do?
To be honest, my honest view about neglecting the boy child is a patriarchal statement to make us forget that we need to empower the girl. According to the UN, the girl child is 100 years behind to ever come to equality with the boy child. And sometimes this is what I keep saying. The girl child and the boy child empowerment should not be a competition. And my mantra will always be raising queens, but I will not sit down and raise queens for broken kings. So I will definitely make sure the boy is included. And I really believe in inclusivity. That one, that two that I find, talk to them. Because again, by the end of the day, we really do empower girls. We really tell them what to do. But again, they go back to the same men in the society. You know, we really blame, or we really push our blames on the border men. You know, when we're in the room with our girls and you talk and you talk and you talk and you talk, and there's that border man on the way, on the road, who does not have all this information. So I feel like it is our responsibility as a society to practice inclusivity. But the statement of boy child being neglected, sometimes I wish it can be just removed out of our mouths, because it's a lie. It's not competition, and again, patriarchy has really affected our society, and it's not a system that only affects men, it also affects women. Yeah.
Now, John, Pauline puts it, it's not a competition, yeah? So if it's not a competition, then why shouldn't we also empower the boy child?
Okay, with all due respect, I want to believe that that statement that the boy child has not been neglected is your own opinion, a personal opinion. But now, for me, as a psychologist and as a man, honestly, I believe that the boy child is neglected. And I ask myself, you have talked of bringing up a queen, but this is a queen without a king. So, and now as we are talking, in Africa, Kenya has the majority of single mothers. Out there, ladies have a very negative attitude towards men. Why? There are very few people who are nurturing boys. I've already talked about the issue of poor role modeling. We have role models. We have more role models for girls, but very few role models for boys. So who will marry this queen? So, you know, rearing children, bringing up children is not about just providing what money can buy. It's having a role model. For a boy to be a total man, he needs to be brought up by a man and shown how to be a man. Same case to the girls. You need, for you to be a total girl, a true girl, you need to be brought up by a woman, a good role model of a woman. And now, role models to the boys are lacking. And that is part of the reason why we got so many single parents, single women. As in, many women are willing to be married, but there are no husbands. Okay? We have so many fathers, but we don't have dads. Yeah, there is a difference between a dad and a father. A father is that one who makes a woman pregnant. A dad is the one who brings up the boy or the child. So we have fathers, and anybody can become a father. But not everybody is able to become a dad. So we need to, so the boy child is neglected. And this is from my professional perspective.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll just continue with the conversation. I know, Pauline, you feel like you still need to talk about that. So we'll take a very short commercial break. When we come back, we'll just be linking now teenage pregnancy to gender-based violence, as well as looking at the solutions. What exactly can you as a person and the society at large do to bring down this number? Remember, according to Vision, or according to Kenya's target is to have 0 new HIV infections by the end of this year, that is 2022. So we take a very short break. We'll be right back with the discussion.
Choose life, that you may love the Lord your God.
If you delight yourself in the Lord, He will make you fruitful in whatever season you are in.
Listen to His voice and hold fast to Him.
That as disciples ourselves, we're being invited to be transformed more fully every single day.
In our walk with God, let us know that we are assured victory in every battle.
For the Lord is your life.
Live a pure life. Are you living a righteous life before the Lord? It is possible. People are wondering, can you do without corruption? Yes, I can stand and say it is possible to do without corruption.
Don't miss season 2 of the evening epilogue every day at 9:30 p.m. only on Kirk TV.
I'm Rhoda Wangeshi from Kitui. Yes.
So now we are heading to general elections.
Yes.
When I look at young youth. Yeah. So what would be your message towards the youth, maybe who are being used to cause violence in political campaigns, or even during or after general election, that is after August 9? What would be your message?
Okay, I'm urging all the youth to remain peaceful. It should not be used as a piece or as an instrument of violence to this election, because there is life after elections. We still need peace. We still need our economy to rise. So stay peaceful and be safe. Thank you.
All right.
So welcome back. This is Kirk in the morning. Remember, the hashtag to use on Twitter is Kirk in the morning. So we were just having a heated conversation right here with John Karaoke, who is a counseling psychologist, as well as Pauline Juma, the founder of Rebirth, of a queen who interacts with teenage mothers. So Pauline, we were talking of the boy child and the girl child. So let us bring in these two parties as far as now teenage pregnancy and gender-based violence is concerned.
Gender-based violence and teenage pregnancy, they are very related. Because sometimes I imagine, now let's imagine of a 17-year-old boy who has impregnated a 15 years old girl. And you know, these are children, just like we've heard from our psychologists that, you know, the maturity age of a girl is 24 and the maturity age of a boy is 25. And then you put these two together. You know, this teenage boy is also not ready to be a father. And this affects their mental health, and these are people, they end up in the society, again becoming violent, because no one taught them how to be a father. No one teaches these little girls how to be mothers, because, you know, they get pregnant, and as a society, we've put them in a certain box. You decided to get pregnant, stay in that box. No education, no awareness, no empowerment, no nothing. So this is now a girl who is going to stand on herself. And this is now a boy who's going to be a father without even anyone telling them what to do. And one of the root causes of gender-based violence is always mental health issues, and people carrying so much trauma, and no one teaches them how to bring them out. And I will still blame the patriarchy system, because at least I find somewhere to put my blame on. The patriarchal system that taught men to be men. The patriarchal system that taught men or boys to be boys. You're not supposed to cry. You're not supposed to talk about your issues. So if this is a 17-year-old boy who has gone through trauma in their family, and maybe the only way he saw it to heal was to engage in sexual activities, and they end up getting pregnant, and he does not know how to be a father, he's going to be violent. And that is how maybe he will find healing, until the day maybe heaven comes and teaches him how to speak, or we open the society for men not to be men, but men to accept that it is okay not to be okay, and actually find vulnerability. We need to connect vulnerability with men, because we've taught men to be strong for the longest time, and that is why I will still say boy child does not be neglected. It is the patriarchy system that has made boys to be neglected.
Yeah, from a personal perspective, from her personal perspective, she is entitled to her own opinion. But the professional fact, and the fact will always remain a fact, no matter how you ignore it. You know, if you repeat a lie so many times, it does not turn into a truth. So I go back to the role modeling, okay? The socialization bit, okay? No matter how much you are educated, if you grew up observing your father beating your mother, chances of you also beating your wife or other women are 70%. It's not about how many diplomas or degrees you have. It's about socialization. And that is why I'm going back to the modeling. So if you don't want your child to practice gender-based violence, be a good example. Don't beat a woman, don't beat a man. Let's not forget that men are also being beaten.
True.
And they are encouraged not to talk about it, but it is okay to talk about it. Men are beaten, men are being beaten. Hey, ladies. And not only by women from Nyeri. Yeah? And a woman who is not happy is more dangerous than a lion. So, Mr. Joker, the chairman of Maendeleo Wanaume, needs support to support these women who are being battered. So, the bottom line is, let's be good role models. Okay? Let's promote mental health. The government, with all due respect, has been neglecting mental health. The task force that was established by His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta is being implemented at a snail's pace. The Treasury allocates less than 1% to mental health. And addiction is a mental health issue. So I agree with what Madam Pauline has said, that gender-based violence has something to do with mental health. Because my experience has taught me that there are some things that a mentally healthy person will never do. Okay? A mentally healthy person will not rape a girl. Ataomba sex politely. Akikatazwa na huyu anaenda kwa mwingine na atapata. Akinyimwa anakubali. You know, so there won't be rape. A mentally healthy person will sort issues amicably. Okay? So to sort this problem, let's promote mental health. Let's offer proper sex and reproductive health, education, and not through the internet, not through Google. Dr. Google does not know everything.
True.
I wonder which medical school did Dr. Google go to? Who knows when he graduated? So, when we get mature parents, they will be able to bring up well-rounded boys and girls. So this issue of poor mental health, this issue of casual sex will not be a big problem. Okay?
All right. Okay, so just on the issue of mental health, I think the Ministry of Health will be launching a strategic plan tomorrow as far as mental health is concerned, especially on suicide. So we just hope that it will not only be on papers, but things will be implemented and action will be taken on the same. So let us look at now solutions for this triple threat, that is the new HIV infections, gender-based violence, as well as teenage pregnancies. Pauline, what do you think we can do? As you mentioned, teenage pregnancy did not come with COVID-19 as many think. Yeah, this is a problem that has been there for many years. So what do you think can be done?
I feel he said something about us going back to our cultures. You know, I grow up with stories. I thrive in stories, and I listen to stories of our grandmothers or maybe great grandmothers when a child was a responsibility for the society, when a community found collective healing through dances, through sports. Sometimes I feel like that is something that we really need in this society where, you know, as a parent, I get out of the house at 5 a.m. I come back at 10 p.m. because I have to find something for my children. And I forget at the end of the day, these children have parented themselves the whole day. At the end of the day, I don't know who my children are. And the community will not help me to raise these children. The community is there, mtoto wa nani, wacha afanye venye anataka. Hata mama yake na baba yake wanakuanga hivi. So we really need to go back to the cultures of love, the cultures of support, and the culture of healing. And also we encourage collective healing. Let us be a society that is going to be there for one another. Let us be a society that is going to support one another. You know, sometimes you don't have to wait for the government, because I'm so happy there is a strategic plan, but I wish there was work on the ground. Strategic plan does not solve anything. That is my view. We need work on the ground, because as we are launching the strategic plan here, there's that little boy who does not even know what to do. And there's that child who's taking their lives away because they don't know where to turn to. So we need to start from the roots. We need to create that community from the roots where we can support one another. And something else on teenage pregnancy. Now that we know we have cases, how about we empower these teenage mothers and teenage fathers? How about now we educate them? How about now we don't become a barrier when a girl has become pregnant, we stop the education, because, you know, that is like carrying generational poverty to another generation. When you don't educate this teenager because she got pregnant, what kind of support do you want her to give to the child? Because the child is here now. She's taking care of that child. She needs to be educated on nutrition so that this child can grow well. She needs to be supported mentally so that she can be a good mother. I will give an example. I had a child when I was 19 until 25. That is when I knew what being a mother is. All this while it was my mother being there for me, teaching me that this is how you're going to take care of your child. If I didn't have such a support system, where would my 8-year-old boy now be? Because I was never a mother to this child. I was, you know, I really want to affirm to the world that he has said that a girl becomes mature at 24, because I was just a little baby navigating through life, and here I am becoming a mother and I'm raising a whole son, and I'm like, after all, men are not that good. You know, I had to heal from a lot. And if someone is in my position and they don't have that support system, what are they going to become? So we really need to go back to a culture of love and that culture of support and education and economic empowerment. Because when someone is poor, they'll just end up into a lot of, you know, I keep saying that poverty takes your moral away from you. So there's no moral with poverty. So let's strive to empower teenagers and even young mothers and even the society economically, mentally, and psychologically. Yeah.
Okay. So, John, to you, what do you think the society can do, or what can we do to get rid of these numbers?
Okay, as I said before, let's reduce casual sex. Let's have well-structured sex and reproductive health education. And then Kenya has become very materialistic, very capitalistic. Parents are very busy looking for money to provide the hardware of bringing up children, that is the money. But we need the software, the morals, okay? The morals. Let's bring up morally upright children by being good role models. It's not, you see, it's unfortunate that there is no degree or diploma in parenting, okay?
Yeah.
This is the only very important profession where you enter into it with zero knowledge. You bring up your children according to how you saw your father or your mother doing it. And it's unfortunate that some of our parents were using what I call primitive parenting methods. Yeah? The dictators. Yeah? It's either my way or the highway. So that even these children now fear to talk to their mothers and fathers. Yeah. So we need the software, and let's give children a sense of belonging, a sense of identity. So when a child is brought up by a grandmother or a grandfather, the child has lost identity. I'm also being brought, tunaletewa watu wengi sana kwa rehab ambao wameingilia ulevi na tabia zingine mbaya, na wamelelewa na grandparents. As much as possible, let children be brought up by mothers, because you know, the issue of generations is very important. So when being brought up by a grandmother, you have jumped to one generation. So there is a gap, and nature hates a gap. So let's be good parents and bring up good children. And I also want to comment something. Madam Pauline said that the corona pandemic brought up what already has been there. Yes, that's true. But it is also true that because of the much idle time people had during the lockdown and the cessation of movement, Yeah, so there was a lot of casual sex, even among the married. Yeah.
Okay.
So COVID contributed to the problem. It made the problem worse.
All right. So Pauline in 1 minute, as well as John in 1 minute. So John will talk to the boy child, Pauline will talk to the girl child. You've just talked or shared briefly of your story. So how did you overcome? If there is a girl outside there who is maybe pregnant, if there is someone undergoing gender-based violence, what's your word to them? Just looking at that camera.
My word to any girl in that society, this is a validation that I needed from the time I was a little girl, just to remind myself that I'm beautiful without any validation, and just to remind myself that I can do anything as long as I keep my mind to do it, and also to ask that girl, whatever support you need, some of us are here to offer that support. We are here to offer that shoulder to lean on. We are here to offer you the support that you need to be in another level. You don't need to condemn yourself for getting pregnant. You don't need to condemn yourself for not being loved right, and also to encourage our mothers, to encourage the society, to encourage that community that we are in. It is now our time to hold ourselves accountable to raising a generation that is going to be a healed generation, a generation that is going to be a healthy generation, and also to encourage us to bring teenagers to this conversation, because they know the issues that is affecting them. And just like we've been told by Mr. John about identities, let's also involve our teenagers and our children in this conversation, because that gives them identity. Thank you.
John, to the boy child?
To the boy child, no suffering in silence. Usikubali mtu akutese bure, na ukiteswa ongea. Hakuna kuchapachapwa ovyo ovyo. Usichapwe kama hujafanya makosa.
Hata na makosa.
And then the punishment should be equal to the mistake done. Usikate mtoto kidole ati juu hakukurudishia change ya 10 bob. So no suffering, boy child, no suffering in silence. No alcohol, no bangi, no drugs of abuse. Usikuwe na tabia baya ndio tuache kuharibu jina ya boy child. Na ladies, hii mambo ya kusema men are dogs, tuache tafadhali. Tuheshimu wanaume. Yeah. I'll also say women are cats, and dogs and cats are domestic animals. So tukae kwa amani. Mbwa wa kwenyu hawezi kula paka wa kwenyu. Yeah. So no suffering in silence.
All right.
Thank you.
Well put. Thank you so much. That was John Karaoke, a counseling psychologist, as well as Pauline Juma, the founder of Rebirth of a Queen. And Pauline, I really like what you do with Rebirth of a Queen in terms of just creating awareness and even empowering the girl child. So keep up the good work. So that as I said earlier, that was John Karaoke, a counseling psychologist, as well as Pauline Juma, the founder of Rebirth of a Queen, where she deals with teenage moms. We were discussing of the triple threat, that is gender-based violence, as well as teenage pregnancy and the new HIV infections as indicated by the Ministry of Health. So we take a very short break. In a few, Vincent Kerosi will be coming with the sports updates.
Mungu nguvu yetu, Mimi naitwa Lingo Westside. Mtaa yangu ni Nairobi West. Na story about peace inaweza banja ni like sisi kama mayouth, sisi ndo tuko kwa grao, unacheki. Na hawa tuseme ama bigi hawa, unacheki venye wana operate kwa hizi streets, hadi wewe unaweza cheki. Yesu anasema ati yes to vote, ati watajenga kitu. Hiyo kitu hata tujaicheki. Tunaweza tuliza maarifu wa midemi MTH. Tuioni anakuzu, unacheki. So sisi kama mayouth, naweza sema like maybe tulete youth wetu, mse wetu yani, mwenye tunajua like amegrow kwa him from these streets yani, yenye tunamjua. Tusichague tu mtu tu atijua na kupatia tido, atuchague mse, unacheki. Like jaribu like kuchagua mse mwenye unajua hata akiingia kwa hiyo kiki, atakuokolea. Sawa. Si kama yotwe hauna job, sawa. Mse akuoffer 200 shillings, uende kwa rally yake. Si utaenda? Ama utaacha hiyo ruabe. Lakini sisi kama youth tunaweza advise my youth. Yes, hizo madozi kuleni, sawa. Lakini msigeuziane wenyewe kwa wenyewe. Yeah.
Are you ready for Israel? PCEA head office is pleased to inform all presbyteries, parishes, churches, congregations and friends of our PCEA annual trip to Israel. The 10-day trip to the Holy Land will happen this September from the 18th to 27th, 2022. The trip to Israel through Egypt will include visit sites like the pyramids, Mara, the Hanging Church, the Burning Bush, Mount Sinai, and then to Israel through the Suez Canal. That will include visits to the Dead Sea, Kibbutz, the Menja, the Temptation Mount, Gethsemane, Old Jerusalem, Caesarea Park, St. Peter's in Galligantu, Emmaus, Capernaum, Jordan River, Galilee, among others. We would love to have you join us on this annual trip to Israel. For bookings, contact Rose on 0721 511 524 or 0721 511 524.
I am not a mistake. Welcome to Kirk Watoto. We're very glad to have you. In this show, we have 4 segments.
I always get excited for this particular moment when we raise generation for Christ.
You know that Jesus loves you so much and he has given you talents.
The aim of this program is to make sure that it nurtures your talent.
By then kuwa na baraka si pesa mingi, ni kuwa na Yesu ndani ya moyo wako na kujipenda na kujua ya kwamba you are not a mistake.
Wow! Let's do this. Let all the children come to me, because in the name.
Are you looking to grow your business? Kirk TV offers you a variety of advertising opportunities to suit your budget. Advertise with us today and reach your potential customers countrywide. For more information, email us on sales@kirktv.org or call 011 00 90 647.
I'm Rhoda Wangeshi from Kitui. Yes.
So now we are heading to general elections.
Yes.
Now when I look at you, that are youth. Yeah, so what would be your message towards the youth maybe who are being used to cause violence in political campaigns or even during or after general election, that is after August 9? What would be your message?
Okay, I'm urging all the youth to remain peaceful. It should not be used as a piece or as an instrument of violence to this election, because there is life after elections. We still need peace. We still need our economy to rise. So stay peaceful and be safe. Thank you.
All right.
I'm Celestine Kemunto. I'm taking a bachelor's in business information technology. I chose ZTech because, first of all, ZTech has been ranked among the best in ICT, and I thought it will be best. It will be best for my course. First of all, there are so many ICT labs in ZTech University, which enables students, mostly those who are pursuing IT courses, to get to know more.
Well, welcome back. This is Kirk in the morning. The hashtag to use is hashtag Kirk in the morning. That is on Twitter. Remember, we are also coming to you live on social media. That is Facebook and YouTube, Kirk TV Kenya. So it is time for sports, and Vincent Kerosi is set. He'll just be updating us on what exactly happened during the weekend as far as the Commonwealth Games are concerned. Also, what happened in the Premier League.
Yeah, you sure got that right, Ida. It's all about sports. Of course, a lot happened through the weekend, but we want to begin closer home, where Kenya's men rugby sevens team Shujaa bundled out of the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, UK after losing its semi-final matchup against New Zealand. Kenya had hoped to make it to the final after wins against Uganda and Jamaica, but the hopes were obliterated by the New Zealand's All Blacks, who came out strongly, eventually defeating Shujaa 31 tries to 0. On Saturday, Kenya bagged its first medals after Margaret Kariuki and Michael Githai won a silver and a bronze, respectively, in the women's and men's marathon. Githai clocked 2 hours, 13 minutes and 16 seconds to bag bronze in the East African clean sweep, where Uganda's Victor Kiplagat won gold in 2 hours, 10 minutes and 55 seconds, and Tanzania's Felix Simbu settled for silver in 2 hours, 12 minutes and 29 seconds. On the other hand, Muriuki posted 2 hours, 28 minutes to win silver in the women's race, losing out to Australia's Jessica Stenson, who posted a time of 2 hours, 27 minutes and 31 seconds. Australia is leading the medal tally with 22 gold and 52 overall. Kenya is number 15 with just 2 medals. So happy how we are losing to our close neighbors, because Uganda and Tanzania defeating Kenya in the marathon has not been had before. So Kenya, we have a point to prove going forward. We hope that Omanyala Ferdinand and of course his team in the 100 meters will be able to give us some hope and joy going forward in the Commonwealth Games that are concluding in August 8th. Now, further upfield is that Liverpool are this year's Community Shield. Before Liverpool, let's look at the women's football. That a game of football in England, where England's Lionesses are the 2022 European Women's Champion, after defeating Germany 2-1 in a fierce match played in front of over 87,000 supporters at Wembley Stadium. After a 1-1 draw in normal time, the match went into extra time. Chloe Kelly popped up with a goal in the 23rd minute of extra time that ruptured the Wembley Stadium into frenzy mode. This is the first ever major trophy that the England national team, women's team, have won in history. Liverpool are this year Community Shield champions after humbling arch rivals Manchester City in Wembley 3-1. Goals from Trent Alexander-Arnold, Mohamed Salah's penalty and Darwin Nunez's stoppage time assure the Reds of their first silverware as curtain raiser into the new season. City's goal was scored by new signing Julian Alvarez, although fellow new entrant Erling Haaland struggled to make an impact in that match. The English Premier League sets off this Friday when Crystal Palace host Arteta's young guns, Arsenal. Talking of Arsenal, the Gunners conclude their pre-season by hitting Sevilla 6-0 at the Emirates Stadium to lift this year's Emirates Cup. Arsenal's goals were scored by new signing Gabriel Jesus, who scored a hat-trick. Bukayo Saka scored 2 goals, and Edin Ketia, who added the cherry on the cake deep into added time.
It's a silly decision. But it is going to be Saka up against Bono. Arsenal's first opportunity. And taken by Saka. Slotted home calmly into the bottom corner. Sevilla continue their protest. Jesus had stayed wide and Gabriel has stayed up. Here's Xhaka. Gabriel's far post. Well, Xhaka looking towards the near post and helped in by Gabriel Jesus. It's only taken him 13 minutes, but it's his first goal at Emirates Stadium in an Arsenal shirt. He looks so full of life. Martinelli now, and there's Jesus! Oh, goodness me! 2 goals in 60 seconds for Gabriel Jesus.
I know the Arsenal fans can't wait for the new season to begin. Next Friday, Arsenal pick it up against Crystal Palace, their London rivals. And I know Arsenal fans are so happy because of the new signing, Gabriel Jesus, and of course the front three of Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Martinelli, and Bukayo Saka, making it as it is. But all said and done, Aida Munzatsi, let's talk about Kenya and the performance, not only in the Commonwealth Games, but how they performed, of course, in the World Championship in Oregon. Kenya has lost to arch rivals, our neighbors Uganda and Tanzania, in the marathon. This has not happened before.
Well, as you put it, Vincent, it has never happened before, so we should actually look at what exactly is happening. The language in the street is where is the rain beating us?
Yeah.
I mean, where or what exactly is happening? And as you put it, Uganda, and most of the marathoners are from Uganda. Some of them are actually Kenyans who are running for Uganda. And let's just be hopeful with Omanyala, and let's let's hope that it'll bring home the gold. I'm not so sure, do we have any gold from the Commonwealth?
We don't have a gold yet. We just have a silver and bronze, just 2 medals. But again, you know, we don't participate in so many disciplines like other countries. So we believe that going forward in the disciplines that are coming, we are going to get a few more gold medals. 8 as it may, not even gold, but we believe that we're going to up our number in terms of medals.
All right, that's true. So we wait to see what exactly Omanyala will play. When exactly is he playing?
They still have time to prepare their games. I think they'll do the 100-meter matchup will come up later in the week. But there are other disciplines that Kenya is going to compete in, the short, the field races that are going to take place, the track races for that matter that are going to take place as the week progresses. So we believe that going forward, just from tomorrow going forward, we believe that we will be able to bag a few medals going forward.
All right, thank you so much, Vincent. So let us take this short breather. We'll be back. Well, thank you so much for tuning to Kirk in the morning. Remember, we have talked of a number of things as far as what happened during the weekend, as well as what to expect. So here are some of the things that you should be expecting during this week. As I mentioned during our conversation with Pauline and John, the Ministry of Health is expected to develop Kenya's first suicide prevention strategy. That will be happening tomorrow at exactly 8 a.m. On the same day, that is 2nd of August, Uhuru is also expected to tour Kisumu as he bids that region goodbye. And as we heard from Matiang'i earlier on in terms of whether the internet will be shut, so Facebook operations risks being suspended in the country in 7 days' time if it falls to act on online hate mongers, NCIC Commissioner Makori warns. So that's exactly what you should be expecting, or some of the things that will be happening during the week. As I mentioned, Uhuru will be touring Kisumu tomorrow, and MOH will also be launching a strategic plan as far as mental health and suicide is concerned. So remember, we were coming to you on all our social media pages. So if you're just joining us, remember you can catch the recording on all our social media pages. Thank you to everyone who watched. I can just read a few of your comments on social media. That is Lee Caxton saying that he is tuned in, and my Jean, that's the name you go by, he says he's watching from Kiserian. So thank you so much for tuning in to Kirk in the morning. My name is Aida Munzatsi. See you again on Monday, where we will be discussing different matters as far as the country or current affairs news are concerned. Remember, on 9th August will be the general election. So on 8th, we will be discussing all matters at general election, even as the country or the Independent and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, is prepared for the general election. So that's it from me. See you again on Monday. Have a blessed and beautiful month.